Town residents are upset tonight over one of their own posing nude online. As Dave Jordan tells us, it turns out she's the police chief's wife.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but Snyder residents aren't holding much stock in these photos of the police chief's wife in various states of undress.
It was brought to the citizens' attention within the last week or two.
Teresa Mills's 12-year-old granddaughter told her about Doris Osmond's suggestive pictures. Word quickly spread throughout the town, already dealing with issues regarding the mayor's leadership.
The thing with the chief's wife just kind of blew it all up. That was a straw that broke the camel's back.
Something as immoral as this is going on, and he's knowledgeable of it, and he stands behind his wife doing it.
But what's immoral might not necessarily be illegal.
Well, the posting of nude photographs online themselves will not be a violation of the law, as long as they were not minors or engaged in some explicit sexual conduct.
This isn't Osmond's first controversy. 5 years ago, she pleaded guilty on meth distribution charges and served time in prison. Now several residents are calling for Mayor Dale Moore to fire Chief Todd Osmond. But in a statement released to the media, Moore called Snyder a strong mayor type of government and said he's taking no action against the police chief at this time.
The chief is supposed to hold respect and authority, and as far as the citizens are concerned, there's no respect there.
Chief Osmond wouldn't talk to us about this story because he says there's a possibility of a civil lawsuit if he loses his job over this controversy. His wife Doris also declined comment. Amy?
All right, Dave, and the controversy is far from over. A group will file a grievance tomorrow calling for a grand jury investigation of the mayor.
News 9 first told you last night about nude pictures Doris Osmond had taken and posted online. Now the Kiowa County DA's office wants the OSBI to take a closer look into these activities. Dave Jordan joins us now with the latest developments. Dave?
Well, Kelly, DA John Wampler says he had no choice but to seek OSBI's involvement because the mayor of Snyder continues to pledge support to Chief Todd Osmond. So the DA wants an investigation into whether those nude pictures are in fact illegal. This as more explicit photographs have surfaced. These alleged pictures of Doris Osmond obtained by News 9 are too graphic to broadcast unedited. Now DA John Wampler wants OSBI to determine whether they may border on criminal.
Whether or not there's a violation of the law, that's what the investigation will be concentrating on and looking at.
The photos have been the talk of the town for the past 2 weeks, mainly because they are of the police chief's wife. Doris Osmond confirmed that last week.
She stood up at the council meeting last week, and announced that she was an adult model and that she was proud of her job and, that there was her First Amendment rights.
For the police chief's wife to be allegedly doing these things and involved in these kind of things, whether it was illegal or not, it certainly reflects badly upon the Snyder Police Department.
Chief Osmond and his wife wouldn't speak on camera, but did say that these photos we showed you yesterday were not pornographic. Legal experts agreed on that point, but offer a different opinion on these pictures obtained late last night by News 9, which appear to show Doris Osmond engaged in various sex acts.
The ones that I viewed today that News 9 has obtained certainly would fit the category of being a violation of the state statute.
Mayor Dale Moore, who wouldn't talk to us, instead released a statement yesterday saying in part he's taking no action against Chief Osmond.
As the prosecutor that has to take the cases that his department makes and prosecute them, it concerns me that that's going on.
And there is talk in Snyder that those photos were among those initially posted online but quickly removed after the public outcry. Wampler says that's something OSBI would have to determine, Kelly.
All right, Dave. The investigation would also likely focus on where those pictures were taken and what was Chief Osmond's level of involvement. Huge fallout in the town of Snyder tonight as top officials resign from their posts.
This stems from a story News 9 first told you about Tuesday regarding the police chief's wife. Deborah Osmond posted nude photos of herself online. She and her husband said the photos were not illegal. But News 9 later uncovered more graphic images believed to be Osmond. Dave Jordan first broke the story and joins us now with the latest developments.
Well, Amy, those photos were the reason many Snyder residents called for the resignation of Police Chief Todd Osmond and the mayor who supported him. This morning they got it, but Osmond didn't go quietly. Former Police Chief Todd Osmond wouldn't speak on camera about his wife's adult modeling, but he did confront a man he claims alerted the public about the photos.
You guys want to know the man that brought it to Snyder? He's standing right there. He's the one that published all the pictures, distributed them. He's the one that put Snyder on the map, not me.
That man, identified only as Joe, denied that.
Well, he's got to blame somebody, doesn't he? No, I don't have no computer.
Just 1 hour before this confrontation, Osmond reluctantly stepped down from his position. He said in a letter to Mayor Dale Moore that media coverage shed a negative reflection on the police department.
People have the rights to their own opinions, but the morals are at stake, you know, people's morals, and it has to do with Snyder.
Osmond went on to say that his wife's adult modeling career is protected under the Constitution. Mayor Moore has said in the past that he wouldn't take any action against Osmond over his wife's photos because he didn't do anything wrong.
We live in a small town, and you can't separate what a husband does or a wife does from the other.
Mayor Moore's support of Osmond clearly cost him his job. Today, he also submitted his resignation. It comes 2 days after DA John Wampler requested an OSBI investigation into his office and the legality of these alleged explicit photos of Doris Osmond uncovered by News 9. Residents say they're relieved that new leadership is on the way.
We have been sick of this. We wanted them to resign. We wanted them to get fired or whatever.
Now that Osmond has resigned, Assistant Chief Joe Jenks will become acting chief. Mayor Moore's resignation goes into effect on September 19th, and the city will be run by the 2 remaining council members. Amy?
All right, Dave. And Snyder City Councilman Clifford Bernard also submitted his resignation. He said in a statement that the move was in response to concerns from citizens that council members did not share their views.
Even after last week's resignation of the mayor, Dale Moore, and police chief Todd Osmond. Both men resigned amid controversy over nude photos of Osmond's wife that appeared online. But tonight, the town is upset about a hefty paycheck Osmond received. Dave Jordan is in Snyder tonight on the money trail. Dave?
Well, Kelly, Osmond earned about $33,000 as police chief, but he recently received a check for $20,000 after resigning from that post. We're told that money was for back pay, but others have their doubts. 5 days after Todd Osmond resigned from his chief of police job, the town is still up in arms. This time it's over a check he received from the mayor's office.
We were willing to say, okay, you're gone, it's done, let's forget it and let's move on. And found out that he received a $20,000 check.
City Hall says the money was for comp time Osmond accrued when he was paid hourly, and it was on file for about a year. But payroll summaries obtained by News 9 showed Osmond received no comp time for 2005. Another summary shows he accrued 884 hours from July 25th to August 12th of this year.
The $20,000 for a small town like Snyder, you know, he couldn't have comped that much time. There's no way.
Outgoing Mayor Dale Moore never signed the check. In fact, after telling News 9 on Friday that he would leave office on September 19th, he changed his mind and tendered his resignation effective immediately. Moore told acting Mayor Alan Ford to sign Osmond's check. Ford wouldn't talk to us for this story, and neither would Moore. Meanwhile, Mills, along with other Snyder residents, are calling for a grand jury investigation.
I'm afraid when it all comes down, there's going to be some people in trouble.
And Moore is going to need around 664 signatures for that grand jury investigation request she and the other residents of Snyder are asking for. She's hoping to recoup some of that $20,000 to make improvements around the town. Kelly?
All right, Dave. Kiowa County DA John Wampler called for an OSBI investigation prior to the resignations of both men. We'll know later this week whether the investigation will take place.
Dave Jordan has been following this from the very beginning and joins us with the update. Dave?
Well, Amanda and Kelly, Snyder City officials said Osmond received that $20,000 check for 884 hours of overtime. This 28-page report just completed by the state auditor says the math doesn't add up. When Todd Osmond walked away in disgrace from his $30,000 a year job as police chief last September, he took a $20,000 check with him. Now at least some of that money will have to be returned.
We believe that it was excessive to the nature of $9,800. We believe that the the former chief was overpaid.
These findings come on the heels of a News 9 investigation. Last September, we obtained documents from Snyder's own City Hall that shows Osmond should not have been paid comp or overtime. McMahon had a hard time coming to the same conclusion.
It was very difficult to go through all of the different boxes, searching for information and not finding the information.
And here's why. The city treasurer couldn't provide copies of timesheets from at least 5 pay periods dating back to the beginning of 2005 when Osmond became chief. Out of 21 timesheets, only 3 had the supervisor's signature. The treasurer told investigators that she felt pressure by former Mayor Dale Moore to sign and print Osmond's final check. She couldn't remember how she came up with his 884 hours of overtime after he'd only been on the job for 21 months. Kiowa County DA John Wampler couldn't figure it out either.
Well, I think I was like everyone from the beginning. It seemed excessive just from the standpoint of how long he had been working there.
Wampler says it's too early to tell if criminal charges will be filed.
I'll have to read the report in detail and possibly have some further investigation before we'll be in a position to really make any judgment calls.
But if charges are filed, McMahon stands ready to assist.
We believe that restitution should take place for the taxpayers.
And McMahon says that $9,800 may not sound like a lot of money, but that could be used to feed at least 35 children for the school year or toward the purchase of at least 50 police radios, Kelly.